We love Bajheera. Do you? We're still weaving them in. I am a game playing enjoyer. I do like to play the game. That's something I like to do, and something we will continue to do. But gotta do a little bit of reactifications, right? Gotta do it. So, for our first react segment of today, we are going to be watching Asmongold's video entitled "When Did Warcraft Become Boring?" And I have some ideas. My first idea of when Warcraft becomes boring is when you are not committed to it and you don't want to just play it for fun, because just kind of how it is. I think that's like the first thing. When I'm just answering the question, just looking at the video and answering the question, is when you are no longer like committed to like trying to have goals within the game, right? Where you've done, and that can happen for a couple reasons. One, you've done a ton and you want to take a break, or you just just need a break anyway. Just, you know, it's not giving you the juice. But let's see what Asmon thinks, and let's see what this guy thinks, because my opinion will probably be fleshed out more as we get more info. But here we go. Let's have a look.
Warcraft equals boring. Uh-oh. Warcraft used to be better when it was just a bunch of dudes fighting each other and having to deal with mysterious crap while they fought each other. Humans, dwarves, ogres, orcs, and trolls all have that vibe where they have to punch someone in the face, and it was awesome. Then you look at the lore now. Yeah, I don't really care about the soap opera between a dozen or so characters. WoW was never deep. Stop trying to make it be. It was just a bunch of dudes trying to survive a cold world where there's war every time, and it was awesome. Then there's the people who are terminally online, who can't separate reality for fiction, who had to ruin the fun. They had nothing going on in their lives, so they tried to better the virtual world made for entertainment to reflect their worldviews. Warcraft equals boring in today's society, and I don't see it coming back, because there's people at the top who have to just force their worldview through everyone's throats. You know what?
Okay, so it's not really commentary on the video game itself. He said that he sort of finds the story of World of Warcraft boring now, because it's no longer just a bunch of various magical races punching each other. He found that to be the most engaging story. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Let's continue.
What I think he's completely fucking right. I think he's
surprise, fucking prize, Asmon.
Totally fucking right. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of people that think it's boring.
Asmon says, somebody's hating on WoW? All right. Let's get involved.
Maybe not for the same reason.
Classic.
No. Furry simulator. Yes, there's too many furry races. Like Tauren are kind of furries, but they're not as much because they're in Warcraft, and they weren't really female Tauren. It was just Karen and like a few other horse guys, and so it was fine.
So,
and then you had Worgen. Those were those are furries.
So I also want to just take a brief moment to say that I don't really care about WoW lore that much, just in general. I mean, I think it's cool. I like Varian, and I can kind of be like, oh snap, when like WoW stuff's happening, but my enjoyment of World of Warcraft is not really too wrapped up in the lore, even though I can sort of appreciate it. I'm mostly about the gameplay and about the progression and about the world, and I enjoy all of those things. But anyway, let's keep hearing what he has to say.
Pyrrha are furries. Drakthir are scalies. Like, it's just too many, man. I want to look at all the definitely sane responses that definitely didn't mass flag the dissenting opinion. Never mind EU forums. Dude is 100% right, though. The gameplay's still good, but what does that matter whenever it's not Warcraft anymore?
I mean, I think that's kind of the most important thing, in my opinion, the gameplay and stuff. Yeah, I mean, like, do you guys think that they should just add more humanoid races? Just add humans from different parts of the world? They are adding different kinds of dwarves. Those are not furry dwarves this time around. What else are they adding? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Interesting.
It's not. It's fucking cringe. And I'm sorry. Okay. Like, I know that there's people that like the story nowadays. Well, guess what? You're wrong. It used to be good. If you go and you watch the YouTube video that Platinum WoW did about how Tyrion Forgering left the Knights of the Silver Hand, and you compare the raw, unbridled masculinity of that to this pussyfooting around with Anduin, who's getting in his feelings because he got mind controlled. Holy fuck, man.
Getting some buzzwords in there, aren't we? My goodness. Is that what this is about? Buzzwords. Masculinity and calling other people in touch with their feelings weenies and stuff. Alrighty. Is this where we're going with that one? Okay, interesting. Good to know about that one. Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
It's so lame. It's just, it's.
I will say that the Lich King, we played through the Wrath of the Lich King. I don't know, like we played through like the patch and had fun with it, but we very recently went back and did the heroic Lich King raid with Zaryu and a bunch of people from his stream and stuff. And I definitely could appreciate how awesome the Wrath of the Lich King storyline was. That's really badass, definitely. And I think it is hard to continue to have like the story get more and more like badass without it like having like crazy cosmic power creep, which we've seen in World of Warcraft. We've seen that in like Dragon Ball Z. It's tricky. It's tricky. So sometimes you have to like like little side stories and whatnot. So I don't know. We'll see. Interesting.
So lame. Oh, here we go. He found it. Oh, thank God.
Interesting.
Mal, it's always been deep. You seem to have never read any lore at all, like 80% of the player base. No, this is the problem, is that the lore was satisfying whenever you didn't have any information about it. It was just cool on the surface level. Like for example, whenever Illidan broke out of the prison that he was in, that Gul'dan was trying to summon Sargeras' body into him, like, you don't need to understand Illidan's relationship with his brother. You don't need to understand why we had to defeat Illidan. You don't. All you need to understand is that Illidan grabs that motherfucker by his head, disenchants him, and says, "Follow me into the abyss." And then the next fucking patch comes out, and you're fighting Kill Jaden on a spaceship. Okay? You didn't need to know a goddamn thing. It's like, oh yeah, it's deep. Yeah, cool. For sure. But like at the end of the day, it's fucking badass. Yeah, Giga Chat on it. Yeah, okay. It was so fucking cool. Yeah, and then after that, it got even better. So like, like the Velen and Kill Jaden cinematic was so good if you knew what the lore was for it. But if you didn't know what the lore was for it, and then that part of the cinematic is over, and you look up in the sky, and there's a gigantic green, disintegrating planet right above you, and somebody's like, what the fuck happened? And Illidan says, sometimes the hand of fate must be forced, and you're going to the fucking other planet in the next patch. It's like, holy shit, we are cooking. We don't need to know a goddamn thing. Look up at the sky. It's right there. There's Argos. And
I mean, yeah, that's usually my experience. Like, I'm not really sure what's going on, but like, cool cutscenes are like, cool, nice. Having the whole world affected by an event that you participate in the game is really, really cool. Yeah, this man is Volker. He is a little bit. Yeah, he gets pretty fired up. But yes,
and you're gonna go there. It was insane.
But he's someone that you have to pay attention to, because there's a lot of people pay attention to this guy, and he's doing something right. So sometimes you gotta listen up a little bit. Say, what is this guy up to? He's also very passionate about video games, so it's kind of interesting to hear what he has to say. And I am a usual WoW enjoyer, and Asmon he is in and has been in this arc of kind of WoW hating for quite some time, and so it's cool to hear like a competing opinion. You know what I mean? He doesn't really play the game anymore, no. So his opinions, I find, are a lot of times, like, coming from a place of, like, disinterest. It's not like his opinion is necessarily lazy, because I think that he does usually have a fair amount of, at least sort of, like, what's on his mind behind what he's saying. But I think that he's oftentimes sort of, like, writing off WoW, and definitely really enjoys negative opinions, because he's got a lot of stuff to say. But yes, I don't think he really plays too much anymore, but I think that's an opinion that you need to hear about sometimes. Yeah,
just dudes being dudes. Yes,
who are kind of
and
out of
it
loop,
had lore
right?
behind it, but none of it mattered. You didn't need to know that for it to be fulfilling. It was just fucking cool. Last retail expansion I really enjoyed was Legion.
You don't really need to know everything about the lore in order to feel like what's happening in the world is cool. I could get down with that. That's what he's saying.
Now, so making things cool, badass, masculine is a game about war is considered toxic and needs to be subverted. Yeah, I know. It's so cringe. Let me read some more posts like this. These back in my granddad days threads are getting even older.
Those kind of like things make me just like, it makes me like a little bit uncomfortable, because I'm not like fully dialed in on like the internet like incel culture. where like everybody feels like their masculinity is under siege and things like that. I don't feel that way at all. I don't really like sympathize with that. I don't really know what that's like. And so when I hear like things that are obviously from that, like I'm not sure like what's going on with that, you know? It kind of makes me like, it kind of like raises an alarm, but I don't actually know like all the ins and outs of it. But you can like recognize it when it's there. I don't really see WoW's lore changing as an assault on masculinity and like stepping away from a war in turmoil and battle. But some people do. It's kind of interesting to hear that, I guess.
I know. That's right.
I don't know.
Back in my day, like classic WoW, like the Van Cleef story is better than the story for Dragonflight.
It's a different vibe for sure.
And everybody knows it.
Oh God, can't you? That's just like some of these things that he says, like, oh my gosh, so everybody knows it stuff. Okay, yeah, I mean, like the Van Cleef storyline is like it's a real small but cool kind of in the shadows kind of storyline. And where it's all like it's back in classic and the world doesn't seem so like big and overwhelming perhaps. So I can see how that feels kind of cool for sure.
Like it's not, and also it's not even close, right? It's not even close. It's not even like, oh well, yeah, the Dragonflight one was okay. No, it's not even close.
Oh, geez.
WoW died with Arthas? No.
Oh jeez.
WoW died with that sexual harassment lawsuit because I feel like that made them too gun shy from doing anything that is like reminiscent of the old WoW. I think that's what happened. Like they got rid of all the people that, you know, made the game, and for good reason, by the way. And also they like now the game has to be a representation for the fact that they've changed. And I think that's cringe because it wasn't me that was doing that stuff at the office. Why is my content worse now? Because people couldn't keep their hands to themselves. That's not my problem. Yeah, it's like, you know, in school where it's like the whole class has to stay late 5 minutes because one person couldn't stop talking. Holy shit. Alrighty then, see ya, I guess. Next, not Warcraft, it's Lovecraft. Remove Warcraft long ago. Now all hug and love. Disgusting, I know. Return to old Horde versus Alliance. This guy is a fucking idiot. An absolute fucking moron. He can't even spell Alliance the right way.
I was so scared he was going to agree with that. I was like, holy crap. Like, I never read forums. And to my detriment, I don't use Reddit. But man, like, oh my gosh. With Asmon, there's no war in Warcraft anymore. Now you play ball with otters. That's not the main content of the video game, but fair enough. I mean, hey, I mean, there are kind of cutesy little world quests out there. But, I mean, pretend like there's not some kind of conflict. I don't know. I personally do like the expansions where, like, you're rooted in, like, a big battle. And, like, I really love the quests where it sends you in and it's like, all right, just defeat, you know, 15 of the enemy. And you just go in there and you just, like, kill 100 of them. Just battling. Any quest that situates you in the middle of a battle, I really like that. But, yeah.
But even he knows.
Kind of this kind of assault on masculinity.
Even he remembers.
Dialogue is
the way it used to be. But he's right, though. He is. He's still right.
Gosh.
The man doesn't speak English, but he knows. You grew
this
up
isn't actually
and
about
you
the video
changed.
game. This is about
no. Let me just stop this right here.
Something else.
I didn't change. If I go right now and I watch this, it is just as good as it was the day it came out. It's not complicated.
I feel like I've probably changed a little over the years personally, but hey, you know.
I don't like this idea that, like, you changed. No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. But other things could have changed too. You didn't like the Dragonflight theme that much? Yeah, again, thematic, like if we're talking about the story of World of Warcraft changes from one expansion to the next, and there are different levels of like peril and violence to the different expansions, sure. I think Dragonflight overall story-wise was relatively chill, but it was also an expansion where I don't care about that kind of stuff. The game itself was good. the systems were pared down to where it wasn't complicated to get a character going, and you could get into PvP really easily, you could get into PvE really easily, and there was progression to be made, but not like you have to make sure you do these weekly quests, like a bunch of them, in order to get stuff with no catch-up mechanics and things like that. There was a couple things you had to do to get your character going, and it wasn't much. And you could have one character that's super powered, and that's fine. You could get alts going, no problem. It was an expansion where you logged in and you played the game. And I don't think that's what we're talking about right now, right? So, I don't know. But yeah, acting like nobody has changed in the past 10 years is kind of silly. Especially as a content creator, where the way you approach gaming and the way you approach your stuff is just is affected by content creation. Just is. Maybe not, I don't know, maybe not for Asmon. Maybe that's his secret. He just keeps, you know, being himself. And I think that's part of his persona for sure. I think I've definitely changed over the past 10 years. A lot of things have changed in my life, and the way I play and what I look for in video games has probably changed too. But not to the point where you don't still enjoy what you enjoyed before, right? Just a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, that's fine. If people really want to have blood and guts storyline every expansion, then Dragonflight's not really like that. But doesn't mean that, you know, like WoW is, like, again, these guys talk about something different. I was wondering, like, what about WoW gameplay, or what about your experience playing the video game has changed? And these guys are more like talking about, I don't find the story of World of Warcraft compelling at the moment. That's different though.
Everything else changed around me, and I never gave consent for this. Crazy how little views the Dragonflight and War Within cinematics got? Because nobody gives a shit. Yeah, that's the reason why.
Dragonflight was like what, Pally?
I never played WoW for the story of the war, only the gameplay. Most stories in video games are comparatively shallow and generic. Yeah, true, but it was still good. It still made you feel good. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's a clip of me. Man.
You're saying that Dragonflight was a kind of a blood and guts expansion? Fair enough. I'm not like a big lore buff. The main thing I feel about Dragonflight is it's really easy to get into. It's really easy to just like log into and play. You can get alts going. There's just not a lot of extra fussiness going on, right? So, yeah.
I don't think anybody can really understand.
Which is a big change from Dragonflight.
Like,
right?
This came out at the same time that like Lord of the Rings was out.
The sands of time have run out.
Look at this.
Son of Duratan.
Let's check this out.
I don't think that I can put into words how groundbreaking this was for the time.
Echo upon the wind.
Feels like Disney. Blisney, yeah, for sure.
Seeing something like this at this point in like history, unheard of, non-existent.
Have a little gander at this one.
Which is besieged once again by conflict.
It's just a bunch of guys going and killing each other.
It's not exactly a deep story.
Yep. That's right. Yep.
What's up, baby?
The graphics for this were just completely like, it was unbelievable. Like I remember seeing this and I said, what the fuck? No way. Ooh.
Looks good though. It's looking good.
A man versus
I'm having fun with the game. I'm not.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm having fun with the game. I play. If I'm not having fun, I don't play. Fair enough.
And the crazy thing is it kept getting better. Like if you thought this was good, the fucking Frozen Throne one was just crazy.
Heroes arise to challenge.
Bro, there it is. You see this? This is all we want. You see this? This is it right here. You stop right here. This is all we need. The sword, yep. This was awesome. I didn't change. We did. I don't know about you.
It looks cool. I'm just trying to figure out how this makes sense with all the fussing about no content and whatnot, right? How does that make sense? Right? Like, what if they did? What if they did just give you just the whole game is just a dude on a rock, you know? You got dudes on a rock and they're fighting dudes on the other rock, and that's just that. You have one battleground. I mean, maybe that'd be cool, but yeah, ain't no way, man. People be fussing about not having a storyline, not having content, I mean, like the lack of depth. Oh my gosh.
You guys, I didn't change.
Lead their brethren to battle.
Yep.
What is most interesting to me about this is how Asmon wields nostalgia and how he wields his persona and is able to sort of say contradictory things from one video to the next, and people just eat it up. That's what's so interesting to me about all of this. This isn't even World of Warcraft related. Just Asmon is just really skilled at what he does, and I think that's worth studying.
Yep.
This is cool though.
As
Definitely.
mortal armies rush blindly towards their doom, the burning shadow
Thrall.
comes to consume us all.
Look at Thrall, by the way.
Very cool though.
He
Definitely
looks like a fucking man.
definitely curious what it
Look at that.
what's going on here.
That's
right?
a brute, man. He beat the fuck out of people. Like, not that bald, weird, cringe, skinny shit that they had in Cataclysm. Man.
That's what men do, just beat stuff up. That's the dude ideal. Is that what we're going for? I get it though.
Is the Burning Legion coming?
He didn't really seem to be like a brute to me though. He seemed like somebody who was
He
like
looks like a fucking man.
The burning
he was like, this is gonna be a lot of dead people here, man. On my side too. I don't know. I mean,
Thrall.
knowing Thrall now, I mean, he's not just running face first into battle. He's taking a second to look. He's getting bumped and getting hit and being like, this is gonna be really bad for my people. A lot of us are about to die. Dang.
is to consume us all.
Look at Thrall, by the way.
Disagree. I don't think he doesn't look like just like a.
He looks like a
mindless brute to me.
fucking man.
It's like somebody who's about who
Look at
understands the
That's
cost
a
of the
brute,
situation.
man. He beat the fuck out of people.
Yeah.
Like, not that bald, weird, cringe, skinny shit
He's yeah. He's pushing a different kind of narrative this video.
that they had in
I haven't heard it
Cataclysm.
laid on
Man.
quite as thick as this one. It's uncomfortable. For sure.
Is the Burning Legion coming? Medivh.
You must rally the Horde and lead your people to their destinies.
Fuck.
That's very cool. Definitely
Me out.
definitely makes you want to know more about what's going on with the story, don't you think? Yeah, it's an old Warcraft 3 cinematic, yeah, for sure. Yep.
Oh my god. It's like, why did Thrall become the war chief of the Horde? He had a vision that came to him in a dream. That he was
Standard.
to unite the races
Standard
and
stuff.
go to Azeroth. That's the reason.
Yup.
And you know what he did? He united the Horde. Yeah. It's fucking awesome. There's a reason why me and Zach played on Thrall server back in the day. That's so epic. It was.
So I'm curious again to sort of hear if this is where he's going. Does he want WoW to return to, like, you know, he probably maybe would like that, a slate wiped clean, no story, just back to just a dude in a dirt hut starting fresh. I mean, that's kind of an idea, right?
It's like, and this is the thing.
Looks like a kooky church preacher at the moment. He's definitely like, you know, channeling some of that, right? Channeling the wave, getting his congregation all stirred up. Yep.
Look, bro.
How can this be? Our spectral powers have returned?
This is not the Titan's magic.
I thought to survive, we needed to reclaim
Is this
our
the end of the expansion?
powers. But they were never ours to take.
Is this Dragonflight?
Coming together.
Looks like it.
As a family.
All the Power Ranger dragons.
Did.
As we were always meant to do.
It was about coming together as a family.
Sounds like some kind of anime. That's what it sounds like. Power Ranger dragons, yeah. Little anime. That's what it sounds like.
Bro,
the power of friendship in Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah.
What's this shit, bro? Like,
Try to skip to ICC. I agree. Yeah, it's definitely a different vibe.
what's this simp shit? Like, what's going on?
But again, I don't really pay attention to this stuff. I don't know.
Fuck, man.
But some people
just-
do. It's important to some people. It needs to be taken into consideration. Figure out what the heck's going on. You think the war within will have a little bit more grit? You think?
I don't even know what to say, man.
Asmon is a story kind of person. I don't know. Maybe.
If they had Thrall unite
Seems
the
like it
Horde
might matter
today,
to
he
him
would
here.
say that line. Yeah. And you know what Thrall, like, you know, like there were the scenes where like Thrall was like next to Karen Bloodhoof, and they just looked at each other, and that was enough, because everybody knew what that meant. You didn't need a bunch of extra bullshit, like men. Yeah, world of femboys, man. Look at
Dude.
this. Holy shit.
I don't like this part of the discussion where he's doing that stuff.
Oh,
This
like
kinda,
compare. Look, compare this.
masculinity under siege stuff. I don't know, man. That part's.
Look,
I don't like that, bro.
where is it?
Fair enough. He
Look,
you know.
Look,
I
bro,
think
that's the difference.
I think understated, like scenes where they don't have to like walk you through all the dialogue is fine for sure.
You see this?
And I'm down for War Within to return to something a little bit grittier. That's fine. But again, story's not that
God
important. to me.
damn, man.
But
From
that is
man
pretty,
to female, like, and like that just
pretty
really
different.
says it. Fucking lame, bro. I know.
I don't know, bro. I wonder if any of these people
I
actually
don't even
play
know what to
WoW.
say about
like,
it,
they
man.
even care. They're just
Show
like,
the
they hate on it.
Warcraft 3 Mechtherodon fight.
Noticing it now. I mean, it's not like a new thing.
You know
It's
which
just-
one I want to show y'all even better than this?
I was hoping this video actually discussed World of Warcraft as a game, but we're just sort of just discussing like how lore and the way it's presented have changed. You know? Those Lords of War 9 years ago, that's crazy. Those were awesome. Those animated things. Those are super cool.
This people don't even understand.
So you just like cinematics? Yeah, this is much different than I
Where's
had
the good part of it?
expected. But I guess we can't really talk about how gameplay has changed if you don't play the game. I would still would like to hear, but yeah. This is kind of standard stuff where it's just like, used to be better. Which, fair enough.
I couldn't do
Older, grittier cutscenes. So this is Diablo, though.
enter that gate.
I think this is the
Forgive me,
remastered one, isn't it?
Tyrael. Forgive me.
Which was cool.
Marius, give me the stone, and all is forgiven.
That's not Tyrael, bro. That ain't Tyrael, bro.
Give it to me, Marius.
Uh-oh.
Take it. Take it, take it. I'm glad this is finally over, Tyrael.
Yeah, Anthony, be fun, man. Welcome
What
back.
the stone has done
Thank you, dude.
to me.
You haven't failed, old man. You've done exactly as you were meant to do.
So we're just watching like this as an example of like there is still some serious like darkness and grit to some Blizzard storylines. Is that right? I guess so.
However, I am not the Archangel Tyrael.
Well, no. No, 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 no.
You have done well, Marius.
Spooky.
Now I think you shall have your reward.
What have I done to deserve it?
Grody. So he'd like to see that kind of grit and wow again?
Witnessed. How else could I explain them? Were these the demons
I wouldn't mind.
from my dream, or were they born
But again, it's like
within the one?
Grody. What even is this? I thought he was dead.
Fucking idiot.
More nightmares? Sure. Yeah, we're not talking about World of Warcraft as a game at all this video, are we?
He goes, what the fuck was in that pipe?
I don't think so.
And like, that's the kind of subtlety that they just can't do anymore. Modern games can't do anymore.
Well, just look at the way this cutscene is built, right? I mean, this is a very much more in-depth cinematic piece of work than the one that we were seeing there at the end of what I guess Dragonflight or whatever. But I mean, it's a different story too. But in terms of just like how much resources was invested into it, I think that's a pretty considerable difference. This is cool though. These are like sort of end of act cinematics. I mean, that's some really neat stuff. And yeah, well, I could do this too. BFA used to be a brutal masculine expansion. What's this fixation on masculine? I like BFA, but I didn't like it because of the story. I liked it because of the corruption patch at the end. That was really fun. But yeah, I don't know. I guess just this stuff isn't that important to me. I don't really feel like the game that I'm playing needs to sort of reinforce any idea of masculinity in particular, I guess. I don't know. I think it's some kind of buzzword that packs a whole lot of weirdness behind it. Is the sort of feeling I'm getting about it. It's weird.
They can't do that. They've got to make it a weed joke. Or, oh, it was 420 already? Haha.
Do they?
They just have to show it, and it's there. Look, bro. Everything is on fire.
It's cool, yeah.
This dude randomly walks out.
Why did I follow him? I don't know. Why do things happen as they do?
What cinematic is this? This is from Diablo 2
Listen
Resurrected.
to that again.
Pretty cool.
Think about how fucking good this is.
Why did I follow him?
You get these cinematics at the end of the acts, which is pretty cool. I feel like with certain game types like MMO and MOBA stuff, gameplay should be the most important thing. Obviously, good stories only enhance it. Let's be honest, if the game was only about the story, as soon as the quest lines are done, no one would play anymore. Right. I mean, I think it's cool to have like something that you're situated in, and maybe that's a bigger deal to some people than others. But I was hoping this was gonna be about gameplay.
Why do things happen as they do in dreams? All I know
It ain't.
is that
That's
when
it.
he beckoned,
That's
I
it.
had to follow him. From that moment,
Isn't cool. It's sad. Blizzard was for alphas. Now it's public.
we traveled together east. Always.
And bro, like, what's so sad is
I
like that first 15 minutes of the Diablo 4 story
I don't know, bro.
was this good. And then it went, No, it wasn't. I thought it was great.
You say 3
I
or
did.
4.
I thought it was great.
Into the east.
The D4 cinematic where they were like sieging hell was so cool. That was one of the coolest things I feel like I've ever seen in like a Diablo game, or just maybe just one of my favorite cinematics in general. Sieging hell, and they had like all like the different demons, and they had all like the various like phalanx, like the super long spears coming through. That was so cool. I like that one a lot.
Oh my god, bro. Here.
Yeah, we'll see what Mr. Metzon's been cooking up, dude. This is pretty nuts in terms of visuals.
Needs your light again. To my son.
Are we pretending this is not cool? Are we pretending this is not badass?
I am not that person anymore. I have no light. Not after what I've seen.
That's intense, dude.
Not after what I've done.
Are we pretending like that's not awesome? I'm confused.
Where is this? No, not this. This one was kind of
That was
okay.
sick too. When the dragon saved the stone guy, that was badass too. That was so cool. That's not blood and guts. This is neat. We're seeing about the new world that we're about to enter into, and there's dragons. It's How to Train Your Dragon. Giant ass thunder dragon about to eat these guys.
This is pretty cool, right?
It is.
It lasts for like 10 seconds.
It is cool. Yeah. That's super cool. I don't know, bro. Yeah, I don't mind. It's like, I like that he's arguing against this, but the problem is that when everything opens up with constant world-ending threats and whatnot, it's exhausting. Sure, yeah, yeah. But that's what it sounded like. Sounded like people were saying that Dragonflight wasn't like the level of intensity that they want. But I mean, I think a chill expansion is fine. Again, I don't really care about the story. Is not that big of a deal to me. It was a great expansion in terms of like getting into the game and playing, and what was available was cool. But yeah. These cinematics, like this level of cinematic, these are always badass. But the cinematic that he was showing at the end, where people are just kind of like standing around with like in-game footage and being like, yeah, you know, all we need to do is be friends. It's like, I'm like, it's goofy, but it doesn't really matter that much to me. This is cool though. These cinematics that are on par with each other are usually always awesome. Going to Dragonflight, baby. That's hype. This is fucking Diablo. Like, this is a different thing. Yeah, it's different. We're gonna go meet some dragons and see what they're up to versus Diablo. There's a different game, different story. For sure. This is cool too. Yeah, I like this a lot too.
It's not even close.
It's not. It's very different. Very different things going on. It's cool though. It's good. I like it. That's just spamming base, of course.
No, don't do it! just ensured the doom of this world. You cannot even begin to imagine what you've set in motion this day. Go to the Temple of Light in the eastern city of Karas. There you will find the gate to hell opened before you. You must find the courage to step through that gate, Miles. Take the stone you hold to the Hellforge, where it will be destroyed. Now run. Take the stone and run!
Listen to how cool that sounds.
Yeah,
Let me
cool.
just go back. We're going to listen to it again.
We don't need to do that.
You have just ensured the doom of this world. You cannot even begin to imagine what you've set in motion this day. Go to the Temple of Light
I don't know,
in the
Rockwell.
eastern city of Karas. There you will find the gate to hell opened before you.
So why does everything have to be maximum Warhammer 40k levels of edgelord to be cool? He's looking for something in particular. He's commanding a particular type of attitude amongst his audience right now. He's living in it. He's stoking it. But yeah, I agree.
You must find the courage to step through that gate, Miles.
It's not that good.
To the Hellforge, where
See-
it will be destroyed. Now run. Take the stone and run.
That looks pretty cool.
A lot of people think that the more complex and the more like confusing a story is, the better it is. That's not the way it works.
Do you think it has like any small consideration to what you're capable of doing in terms of the feeling you give to a player about their role in the game, in a single player game versus an MMO? I think kind of, for sure. I think Diablo 2 is pretty much a single player game in terms of like the way you go through the storyline. I think with Dragonflight it's a little bit different, right? You've got all these different characters that you've met and all these different interactions that you have to sort of like manage to some extent. So yeah, I don't know. It definitely is a little bit different, but I feel like with Diablo, then one of the main things that I get with Diablo is you're just some dude against the freaking armies of hell. And this is only Diablo 2, right? So like you really haven't established that many characters yet. Where with World of Warcraft, especially Dragonflight, like you're already with all your homies that you've been doing all this other World of Warcraft stuff with, and then you've got the Dragonflight with you as well. So it's a little bit different for sure. I'm trying to think of when WoW was like just you against it all, and besides like in the beginning, which Asmon likes classic, and that's probably one of the things he likes, I guess, is where you're kind of like a small cog in this gigantic like battle, right? Story wise, like actual gameplay, yeah, me too. That's my main thing that I enjoy. But yeah.
Final victory is at hand. The way to
I would say that like if you were looking for any game where you're like, where's like a pretty gritty badass story where it's like dark and bloody, like what game would you think of that has really cool cinematics? You'd just be picking Diablo 2 to really just have an example of like any kind of cool, dark, gritty, like bloody demons kind of game in general. So this is just an example that you'd use as a cool cinematic for anything, let alone like this comparison with Blizzard, which is just different games, different places in their story. But just in terms of like coolest in-game cinematics, the Diablo's up there anyway. Yeah, but the games, yeah, it was cool.
The sky shall rain fire, and the seas will become as blood.
At the same time, I thought that like we've had all of these like sort of discussions of like masculinity and stuff, and then we have this scene between Thrall and Anduin, which we're supposed to, I guess, Asmon is using it as an example of something that's not cool, that's not masculine. Is that my understanding? Whereas like that's intense. There's some dude dealing with like intense like regret and self-doubt, and those are absolutely things that you face as a man, let alone as someone who's ever have lots of weight resting on your decisions, right? If you ever, you know, have things that are even out of your control that you're sort of end up being responsible for, that sucks, that hurts. And then you're being asked to step up once again. That's real, man. That's intense. That's cool stuff. And it was like extremely well done from a visual perspective. So I'm not sure what we're looking for here besides just like blood. Masculine and cool aren't synonymous. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, is that masculine is being used in some kind of weird way here that means something different than masculine. You know what I mean? So I'm using the term in a way that I feel like is appropriate. But yes, when some of the ways that it's being used in a video like this is it's giving me a weird vibe, and I don't fully understand it because it means something that's different than what it actually means, in my opinion. But yes, I agree. Something weird's going on there, but still very cool.
Shall fall before the wicked, and all creation shall tremble before the burning standards of hell.
What I saw then was not meant for mortal eyes.
The gate stands ready.
Nasty.
Now, my young brother, the time has come to assume your
Yeah.
The idea is to be a man and do things because you have to, not to give up because you feel sad doing it. You can absolutely still feel sad and pull yourself together, but I mean that struggle, that conflict is still part of it. Still part of being a person, let alone being a man. But yeah, being able to pull yourself together and do what needs to be done is just part of being a human being in general. So yeah, I feel you. But pretending like you never actually struggle is just inaccurate. You know what I mean? Furthermore, the struggle does not make you not a man. You know what I mean? Like that's like the backside of it. To struggle, to sort of battle with responsibility versus like what you feel like you have inside of you, and like you're worn out, you're depressed because of things that happened in the past. That's real. That's a real thing that is absolutely an experience of men and experience of women too. Struggling with responsibility versus how much you feel like you have to give the world, right? That's real. That's real. So pretending like it's not, you know, part of the masculine experience or part of the human experience is inaccurate and unhelpful, I think, too, right?
Yeah. First time seeing the remastered cinematics was so cool. They really did a great job with these.
Lord of Terror.
And you can see courage and perseverance and resourcefulness and capability as masculine traits if you want to, but it's not exclusively masculine to be able to be, you know, resilient, courageous, resourceful, and capable. Some of the most resilient, resourceful, capable, courageous people I know are women. It doesn't mean that they're being masculine in the face of challenges, just they're being a badass human being willing to do what they got to do. But yeah, I mean, you can assign those traits to masculinity if you're like, I want to feel empowered as a person. And one of those words that sort of puts some strength in your chest is masculine. You want to feel like a man, but it doesn't mean that those traits are exclusively masculine traits. You know what I mean? Those are just things that you want to be, right? Which is interesting.
They did a great job with it.
Yeah, Ms. Bane.
And like, look at that dude.
It's badass.
Masculine as fuck. Like,
He's
there's no
Asmon, he's a fucking demon. He's a made-up fucking demon. What are you talking about? Dude, there's something really fucking weird going on here, man. He's a made-up fucking demon who wants to destroy the world. What are we talking about here, man? What's masculine about him? Is the fact that he's walking around his toes, he's got spikes coming out of his back, he's got horns. What are we talking about here? What's the masculine element here?
no femboy shit going on. Like, he's not looking cute or anything. Yeah, bro, this dude is jacked.
Dude, what are we talking about? What are we even talking about? He's a big demon monster. What are we talking about?
Look at that, bro. Like,
it looks cool, but what are we saying?
oh, man.
It looks just like the dragons in the cutscene. Like, what are we talking about? I don't know, man.
Man,
There's
bro,
something
like,
going on for sure, yeah. I don't know, bro. What is he even talking about? I don't know.
I just hope that some of these people, I hope they understand. Like, I want them to go back and watch the old cinematics. And I want them to see during... Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Is like everybody gonna go and make fun of it.
Yeah, that's like the third time he's used the phrase femboy. in this video, and it's like, I don't know, man. Like there's something going on underneath this, and it's really fucking weird. I don't know. And unfortunately, this is way different than I thought this video was going to be. I was hoping we'd actually talk about elements of the game that he liked or did not like, but this is just something completely different. This is some sort of exploration on this imaginary masculine versus whatever thing, which is very different.
There's talk of joking around about this shit, but nope.
I don't know.
It was real. And it was there, and it was amazing. It was fucking insane. The Diablo 4 cinematics are also great. They're okay.
They were fucking
They're
awesome.
better than some of the Diablo 3 ones. They're better than the WoW ones.
They were awesome.
All politics aside, I agree with you.
Diablo's so
True,
like it's
man.
freaky. Like Diablo is like makes you feel uncomfortable type shit. You know, that's the way that Diablo is. It's supposed to be like unsettling and weird. Like this lady like just like beating somebody to death with like a rictus smile on her face. It's like, what the heck is going on here? But that's not like. Is that what WoW should be too? Maybe, I don't know. I think it's okay if it's not. Like Diablo, that could be different. That's okay. But yeah, you can have things that are cool with their own game. I don't know. That's not necessarily what I'm hoping for with World of Warcraft.
Warcraft has changed in tone and not in a good way. Real shit, bro. Real shit. Real shit. Somebody's saying it. The post on yeah, real shit. Like there it is. Was transformed a game, a world where everybody is whining and putting flowers in their hair. And the next step, all of us will start to plant flowers and trees because the new name of the game will be Peacecraft, and all the bad characters will come and say sorry for what they've done. I'm so glad I'm not the only one, bro. Like, I'm so glad that everybody else is seeing this shit, bro. Like, I'm so vindicated right now. Like, I knew this shit was happening, man. And, like, I was saying this shit was happening for a while.
He looks at a comment like that and takes it seriously, and he's like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, he can't be serious. He cannot be serious. I know he's not serious, but he gets into his persona and just drives it, man. What in the world, dude?
Nobody wanted to listen until it was too late with that Dragonflight shit, man.
Dragonflight was a good expansion, man. That's a bummer he didn't play it at all. But yeah.
The last real, like, villain that WoW had was Denathrius. And, like, that was so good. And then they just decided to make it shit after that. Denathrius fight. So yeah, he was great. He was amazing. I loved him. I thought he was perfect. And then he was also a side villain. Yeah, he was. Saurfang cinematics were great. Yeah, Saurfang was all right. I just, bro, like,
what have we been talking about
simulator,
in this video, man? Like, I want to have a good attitude and stuff, but this is just like reading forums, and that immediately just pisses me off.
Like, oh man, like we need Dark WoW expansion as soon as possible. Like, I just play Garrosh Death. Any Garrosh cinematic was crazy. Any Garrosh cinematic was nuts, man. It went so hard.
I don't even know. I was hoping.
It's actually sad.
I was hoping that this would be a video of Asmon talking about a little bit about like the gameplay itself. And that, my first expectation was like, I don't know. I feel like World of Warcraft can become boring when maybe it becomes too much for people and they don't really know what goals to set for themselves, or they've finished all the goals that they had set for themselves and they need to take a break and do something else, and so they're a little bit burnt out or whatever. This is completely different than anything that I had hoped for in terms of the video, but this turned into some sort of like weird sort of like odd view of masculinity and trying to like, I don't know, say that the game has to be like Diablo in order to be like edgy enough to be cool. I don't know. It's just got, I don't know. I think Dragonflight was a super easy to get into expansion. What you got there? Oh, okay. It's super easy to get into, super easy to get your character going. The content was fun. It just was kind of like a light, yeah, it's like a light story, I guess, for me. I didn't really dig into the story, so I mean, who knows? But the raids are fun. The dungeons have been fun, and of course PvP continues to be a blast. But I don't know.
Need psyop to make Western men gay.
Brother, these are your viewers, dog. You do this. You do this to them.
It's fucking stupid.
I don't know, bro. These are the people that you're talking to, man. These are the ideas that you're pushing.
What are you doing saying shit like that?
They're saying it because that's where you're going. They just want to make you laugh. Brother.
I don't even know what to say about it, man. Like, I just, like, I go back, I look at this shit.
We're studying, but man, oh man.
I'll be right back. I take a piss. Like, I do.
Yeah, what the heck did we even just watch?
I don't even know what to say.
Same.
Yeah. I'm just big brain, to be honest. I mean, a lot of people Like, I think a lot of people agree with me. I do. I feel like this is a very popular opinion, and I hope that more people keep talking about it. Because I'm gonna be real, like, shit needs to change. Right back.
What the fuck? Alright, well. I mean, that's insane, man. I intentionally try to avoid that part of the internet. This, like, incel, like, trying to enforce a particular idea of masculinity culture stuff. I intentionally avoid that, because that stuff is so weird and so, like, off from my experience and my opinion. And we sort of accidentally just had, like, 30 minutes of it, loosely framed within the context of World of Warcraft. That was weird, man.